Okay, here we go with the solution to the practice test. So, as normal, first step is to identify the balances. So we want the accounting balance over here. So that goes in there as 4522. That's the opening balance now for March. So you grab the one from last month's reconciliation, and that becomes the opening balance for March. So this is the February balance. Your accounting records, balance as per business closing bank balance, that then becomes your opening bank balance. We then go and grab the closing bank balance from the bank statement. So we want this one here. And if it's a credit, it means surplus. So you've got money in the bank. So that means we'll add unpresented checks. So 4951 credit. So I might just squeeze that in there. Okay, so that's the first part done. Got our balances. Now what we need to do is check off last month's reconciliation and determine have these items turned up. So let's go with checking those off. So we're looking for a deposit for 2420, and there it is there. Usually it's banked very early in the month because you wrote it out late in last month. Checks number 738. So we scroll down. We're looking for checks numbers 738. Not there. Means we have to keep that one circled. Still unpresented. Check number 745 for 1650. There it is. Because this is a surplus bank balance over here, we're not going to add unpresented checks. We're going to subtract unpresented checks. So let's leave a line and put it there. Less unpresented checks. So this is still a check which has not been taken to the bank by the person we gave the check to. So check number 738 for $418. Okay, so that's last month's reconciliation resolved. Got the deposit, ticked it off, got one of the checks, marked it off, and there's one still unpresented. We circle that. Right, now we go back to ticking off the debits and the credits. So we'll go back and do the credits first. So we go to the cash receipts journal over here. We're going to check the bank column, that one there, right, to see whether these have in fact been banked by the business. So we're looking for 935 on the bank statement. There it is. We're looking for 3,300. There it is. 5115. Cross it off. And looking for 4,400. Not there. Right? Neither is the 1,500 or the 10. So we circle the 1,500. We didn't know about it. We circle the 10 because we didn't know about it until the bank statement arrived. And we circle the 4,400 because the bank doesn't know about it. Clearly we do because it's in our cash receipts. Right? If you want to always remember what you're doing, just put a little DNC beside that one because that's a deposit not yet credited. So now we'll go over to the bank reconciliation and go add deposit not yet credited. And that will be for that amount there, $4,400. $4,400. We add those two together because we're starting with the surplus. So that's our subtotal at this stage, 9351. Right, so in terms of the 1,500 and the 10, so they're credits, so they need to be added to my cash receipts. The first one's a transfer from Alwyn, who is the owner. So we're going to add in their capital. Bank statement for $1,500, and that will go under sundries. And then we have $10 bank interest. Bank statement, $10, and that goes under sundries as well. All right, so that's the cash receipts matched up with the credits done. We identified that the $1,500 and the $10, we didn't know about them until the bank statement arrived, so we have to add those in. And we also identified that the $4,400 that we wrote out on the last day of the month, or second last day, has still not been banked yet, so it doesn't appear on the bank statement. So we make sure that we go looking for that next month by identifying it as a deposit not yet credited. So we want to check that next month. Has that been presented? Right, now we go down the debit column and check against the cash payments journal. So these are a bit easier because again we're matching up the checks. So don't forget we can never have a check number circled because we must have sent it out. So there's check number 746 for 660, 747 for 703. Make sure you check the amounts in case there's an error. 748, don't see it. 749 for 440, yes. 750 for 560, and that one is, see that one there? We've processed it as 650 in our records, but the bank's put it through as 560. The bank's correct. Always assume the bank's correct, so that's $90 out. We've got $90 too much in the payments. So you need to cross it off. Right, and before you forget, go into here and go less $90, right, because that's an error. So there's error on check number 750. And we need to take $90 out of the cash payments because the bank only put it through for 560. We put it through for 650. And just find out which one it was for 4. So it's drawings. So minus the 90 off the drawings. All right, so you've got to cross it off because it has been presented. It was just done for the wrong amount. Okay, so go back to these checks. And where do we get up to? We get up to 751 for 4686. That's there. And we're done. All right, so that means that the 748 did not appear, nor did the 1100. All right, and they are unpresented checks. So just write UP beside them so you don't forget. And they have to be added over in your bank reconciliation statement over in this section here. Circle anything that we don't know about, which is the loan and the dishonoured check. All right, so let's do this part over here first. So we need to add in the 2 unpresented checks. So check number 748, that's this one here. And then check number 752, this one here. And we then plonk in the amounts. So we had 1320, still unpresented, and 1100 check, still unpresented. That's all for your unpresented checks. So we've actually finished this section over here now. Right, so we can calculate our bank balance. So add up those unpresented checks. So that's our credit balance at this stage, and we're going to subtract those unpresented checks. So it equals 6513 surplus. So we've got a surplus in our bank account of $6,513. Now that's correct, right? Because it's got the 2 items the bank didn't know about have now been adjusted. Right, so that is the correct figure. Once you've got in the deposit, not yet credited, you've identified that, and you've identified the unpresented checks, including the one from last month and the 2 from this month. Right, so that's the one that students often leave off. Right, they forget about the one from last month, this one here. Right, so make sure you always remember that. And then you've got your answer, 6513. So all we need to do now is prove that our records will also equal 6513 after we make these changes. So going back to the circled items on the bank statement, we've still got to put in the loan. So obviously that is a payment. So that goes in here, taking money out of the bank account. $500 goes out, and that goes into sundries. And then, as per normal, the dishonoured check, you remember you go up here. You deduct it from the receipts. left a space there. Dishonoured check, that'll do. Bank statement. All right, so this is a minus figure. All right, so we're subtracting from a deposit earlier. And you can see that's the one up there. All right, so the 3-day camps, we banked 3,300. The person that we got the check from has got no money in their bank account, so the bank will take it off you. And you just simply need to delete the revenue and delete the GST. Okay, so that's the 500, 3 done. Everything's adjusted. So I've got the items which I didn't know about, which are those two there. So the right colour, those two there, and those two there. So going back over here, you've got the 4 circled items. We've got the 1,500 and the 10. Oh, sorry, and another one there, the dishonoured check as well. So 5 circled items, sorry. 1, 2, 1,500 and the 10. There's the 3, there's the 500, and the $90 was the error. Right, so the error adjustment. So we've got 4 circled items here plus the error adjustment. Right, what we do now is add up the new total. So you total up all your receipts, including those that are circled, and get the new total there, and do the same thing for your payments, adding everything up, including the circled items. And now when we copy those two numbers over here, hopefully we will balance. So we add in 11,960 now as my new receipts total. So add those two together. We've got 16,482 and subtract the payments, which is 9,969 less 9,969. And that gives me the closing balance when I add those two together of 6,513. Right, and that's a surplus. Right, and that's exactly the same as what we got down there. So that's what is called reconciled. Right, the two records, the bank's records, after making the adjustments to the deposit not yet credited and unpresented checks, reconciles with our records after including the items that we didn't know about after getting the information from the bank statement. All right, hopefully you followed that. If you didn't, just keep doing it again. All right, so that's about the standard you need to get to be very competent at doing bank reconciliations.